as major orders are being failed, players focused on completing those orders.
Unless every Helldiver available right now drops on DRAUPNIR, we are going to be screwed.
Are apparently lashing out at those who just play whatever mission or planet they feel like, with Reddit posts and social media being devoted to this topic.
Together for liberty!
Now, if you're just loading up the game and playing, you likely won't see any of these things in-game, which is good. Every random group I've joined has been a lot of fun. And it's not like there's a global chat where people can get at each other. I think most of what's being described in this video is mainly happening on social media and Reddit. And it's important to take these types of things with a pinch of salt and try to have a laugh with it, as much of this is satire and is in keeping with the lore. The post in question is basically saying that even though they are the type of player who likes participating in the Galactic War effort, people should just play the game how they want with regards to the major orders and try not to shame other people for playing the game how they want.
I don't agree with this. I think this is a live service model game. The game works on a certain tangent. Now, yes, evidently you are able to do exactly what you want to do, which is why we're not freaking passing major orders, and the live service model of this storyline is not actually functioning forwardly in the way that we want it to, because people are quote-unquote playing it how they want to. Now, unfortunately, the Terminids have around the same amount of people. Therefore, that makes no sense to me at all. There's not a toxic behavior in playing the game the way it is intended to be played as a basis of actually being able to make this storyline fun for players that are currently outstanding.
Galactic War Simulator? That's a bit of a stretch. It's certainly an aspect of the game. Okay, a few points about this. I can see why that might be the reaction to the topic, but to look at it a different way, in terms of a galactic campaign, in any war campaign, wouldn't it make sense that some of the operations would succeed and some would fail? I mean, if every operation was successful and every planet was liberated, there wouldn't be any game left to play, or the devs would just have to intervene, and who knows, it could have been their intention for it to fail. And in that same role-playing story scenario, would it make sense for everyone to leave the bugs behind? And I would have thought that just being able to fail a major order would be a good thing to the people taking the Galactic War narrative seriously. Doesn't it add to the validity that your actions can impact the war effort? And something else to think about, what if, when a new faction came out, on that very same day the developers decided to add a major order to fight like the bugs or the AUTOMATONs? Not that that would happen, but would you expect everyone to go and complete the new order? Would you completely forego accessing new content just to play into the Galactic War narrative? I don't think so. I waited a couple of days after writing my initial thoughts at the time of seeing this video, because I wanted to see how the situation played out, and also see what the comments were on the topic. And I'm glad to say that since this video, the same YouTuber has put out a different video bringing up that same point about the war effort failing still being a part of the experience. Links to both videos and related posts are all down below. In terms of whether those who are invested in the Galactic War narrative are toxic about this or not, that's yet to be seen, and you'll have to read the comments in the video and decide for yourself on that one. But there was clearly frustration about players, quote unquote, playing the game the way they want to. As far as dailies and weeklies, or in this case, major orders and personal orders go in general, we need to step back and have a look at their primary functions from a game development standpoint. They are used to encourage players to come back and play more, and simultaneously giving them a sense of direction and something to work towards. In MMOs, for instance, they're used to slow people down from grinding everything out in a day, and either getting too far ahead of others who don't have the time or finishing the game too quickly, so to speak. I think it's great that with Helldivers 2 they've added an ongoing narrative to go with this, the Galactic War. I've heard people talking about various aspects of the story and what's going on whilst in-game and through videos online. It makes it more immersive, but functionally it's the same. It's a tool used by developers to keep players active week by week and then month by month. And it also helps bridge the gap between content updates. We can't ignore this, but regardless of whether you're more focused on the overall war efforts or you're not interested, the fact of the matter is, people are going to play the game the way they want to, and to attack those players or get frustrated with those players isn't the way to go, especially if you want the outcome to be more people taking it seriously. It's only going to discourage people from participating, even encourage people to do the opposite, and create a divide amongst players. I'm a big fan of real-time strategy games and grand campaigns, and the idea of implementing these types of game mechanics in a game like Helldivers is interesting to me, and it's something unique that I don't think any other co-op shooter game has done. But I can't see anywhere that the developers have directly marketed this game as a grand narrative war campaign. It's been marketed as a fun co-op shooter that also has this aspect on top of it. or in the background. And what's been made clear is that in order for it to really function organically, it would require most, if not all, the players of that game to be on board. And I don't think that's the case with Helldivers. I think many people still don't really fully understand the Galactic War or supply lines. They just load up the game and want to have fun, either with their friends or solo, and they aren't necessarily keeping up with the war effort day by day. Some people are still seeing calls to action on YouTube or other social media, calling for help on old content like Malevelon Creek, and they just want to go in there and give it a try. Some people don't like fighting bots and prefer the bugs, and some people prefer the opposite. And no one but the devs really know which direction the war effort is meant to go or is going to go, and when it's time for that to happen. As mentioned in a later post in that video, the reward for completing major orders isn't always very compelling, and if the developers really want to push the grand narrative side of things, then I think they would make the rewards more compelling, and therefore draw players to be more interested in that side of the game. But the most important thing of all of this should always be that we have fun. That's what games are for, and it seems to me that the main aim of this game is to have fun, as well as cooperation and friendship, and to support one another. And maybe to drop pod onto your teammate's head, I don't know.
I believe we're here to kill... Alright, maggot!
Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.